Aloha and welcome back. I'm going to try something totally off the wall this time. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do a beach. Actually, I'm going to do two. I've got two canvases here. I'm going to do two beach scenes, and I'm going to use the stencils. So what I'm doing today is on this one, I'm going to put a beach across the bottom, and this one I'm going to do a beach across this corner here. And then I'm going to turn it into a turtle beach with this stencil. I'm going to make the beach or the waves coming in look like the turtle. And on this one, I'm going to do the same thing, but with a seahorse at an angle like that. So this one's going to be covered more with beach and less water. Let those dry for a couple days, and then we'll put the stencils on, get our beach outlined, do the water, all that. So I'm going to do what's called a dirty pour, which is layering of all my beach colors. I've got two sand colors here. I don't remember what they are because I mixed them quite a while ago. And then I'm just making sure that I don't have any lumps in them or anything. One's lighter, one's darker. So I'm going to start with this light one, and then I'm going to put some gold in it also. Now I'm going to go ahead and pour the beach for both canvases, and then I'm just going to tilt. All right, now let's try tilting this. All right, now let's tilt this one around. I got something in my paint here. All right, and that's it. We'll wait for these to dry and put the stencils on. I'm going to use the heavy acrylic gel again, which we'll talk about when we move on to the next part. Okay, so my paint's dry now. I'm going to do a sea turtle in this one, and I just want to do just the front edge of the turtle. I'm going to tape it down, and I'm going to try two different gels that I'm going to use around here to like block off. I want to get this down as secure as I can before I start messing around with the gel. I really have no clue what I'm going to do to finish this off. I'm going to start with just the acrylic gel on this painting, and then on the next one I'm going to use the extra heavy gel gloss. This is like almost like a jelly consistency, where the other one is more like a paste almost. And all this is doing is I'm just sealing the edges of my stencils so we don't get any paint under the edges of the stencil. And then this gel will dry completely clear. I'm not really sure how this composition is even going to turn out because, yeah, I'm just not sure. Because what I have in my mind is that, and what's actually going to happen, we'll see. But what I'm actually thinking is I want some of the sand to show through after I do my wave. Like I drew, I'm going to do a swipe is actually what I'm going to do at the end of this. And this is just my normal mixture of the white paint with the Floetrol. It's a 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. Actually, didn't mean to do that much. Basically, all I want to do is just get like the edges here, or let my swipe push the white across on the rest of it. So I just want to cover this edge, because when the gel dries, the gel will be clear. So if I have any clear spots, which I guess wouldn't be all bad to have the sand showing through, but I want them to look natural, not like a brush stroke. For this one, I'm going to use the heavier, I just want the wave coming in to have the form of a turtle and like to have the form of a seahorse. And this one I'm going to use the extra heavy gel gloss just to see if there's a difference. Actually, I'm going to use a palette knife. This one's so much thicker. Peel this one up. See what I have. Yeah, not sure how that's going to turn out. Go ahead and lift this one up. After I pour the ocean, I might see if I can put the stencil back on and then do the same thing. I should be able to line up the stencil perfectly after this dries, and then add more white in on top of the ocean. Anyway, I'm done with this part, so I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll come back and see what we can do. Well, my wife came in and she took a look at this and she said, "Is that a boot print?" No, it's supposed to be a turtle, so I'm going to have to fix that. So I'm going to try to fix that now. Original thought was to have like the head and this arm like further down, but I don't think I was thinking far enough ahead. So I'm going to use the heavy gel again. So today I'm pouring the ocean part of this and doing a swipe. I'm going to do a different type of swipe than I've done before. So it's a little bit of an experiment, but not too much. And then that's going to have to dry before I do the last portion. So I actually wrote down my colors this time, and I did not mix my own colors this time. I actually used colors as they came. So I've got a turquoise, Caribbean, an ocean green, which is like a light blue. I am doing another experiment. I've got this, which I'm hoping turns out to be really cool, but it's a red, violet, blue shift color. So as the light moves across it, it switches colors, but we'll see how that works with mixed in with the other colors. And then I've got dark ultramarine, a dark cobalt violet, and then aqua. So let's get to pouring. And then obviously I'm going to use white for my swipe, and I'm going to put the silicone in the white. And I'm going to do the two canvases at once, just like I've been doing. I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to go to the dark colors because I want those to be away from the shore, because that's where the deeper water is. And then I'm going to mix this up pretty well because I want my cells to be smaller. Actually, I want to have lacing across. All right, I'm going to bring this like right along the top. Okay, and then we're going to try. This is a different type of swipe that I'm going to try. It's with a paper towel. I've got some water here. I'm going to just wet the end of the paper towel. I don't want it to be dripping wet. I just want it to be just damp. And we're going to lay that right on the white. Let it soak in a little bit. And then we're going to slowly pull that across. Exactly what I was looking for. Get this side to my canvas here. Here, just a little bit of water here. Lay it right on that white. Get both sides. And I kind of missed there. Towel here, so I'm just going to pull a little bit off. Well, like I always say, you get to see the entire picture, no matter how bad it gets, huh? Alright, let's try this side one more time. Alright, so I'm bringing for a closer look. Yeah, I love the small cells on that. I might try to pull that tape off fairly soon. I never hit record on my camera. That's why you're only going to get the overhead shot of me actually doing this and not my camera. And the sound's probably going to suck too. Yeah, there's a close-up of both of them. I think the turtle's going to turn out really, really good. I'm really happy with that one. And then the seahorse doesn't look horrible, but we'll see how it turns out. All right, I'm going to try to get this tape off of here without totally destroying it. I've got a plan to flesh these out to make the turtle show up more and the seahorse. Right, we're continuing our turtle and our seahorse. I'm gonna go ahead and start with turtle. What I'm trying to do is, well, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna use this color leveling gel. I'm gonna mix it with just very, very little of my aqua because I want a very slight aqua color. And then I'm going to try to get more of the turtle shape into the ocean, but I just want like very, very slightly. Gel. And this is the thinner, just the leveling gel, it's not the extra heavy. And I just want a drop of this in here. Barely anything. And we'll mix it up. Just want the color to barely show. And then again, the leveling gel is going to dry clear, so it'll just be some of the pigment showing through. Go ahead and lift that off of there. I'm not sure how much we're going to see before it gets dry. But I'm hoping I just get an indication of the rest of the turtle. All right, now I want to work on this up in here to make it look more like the wave. So I'm just going to use a little bit of my pouring white paint. All right, let that dry and see how it looks. And move on to the seahorse now. Basically going to do exactly the same thing, but I did notice I've got like a straight line right here of the blue, so I'm going to try to work that out somehow too. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that, but we'll see. And then with my seahorse, I really want to bring out this tail. So I'm probably gonna, actually I'll probably just leave it. I was thinking about going a little bit darker with the gel, but I think I'm gonna leave it the same. I can always adjust it, add more later, but it's harder to take away pigment than it is to add it, so. I really don't want to mess this up after 4 days of working on it. All right, we'll let these dry and see what we have when we're done. And here's the final turtle version. It's okay. I ended up adding a lot more blue in, and I added some more blue in on the other one too, which you'll see in a minute. I don't know what happened here with this line, but it didn't show up until I put the high gloss varnish on. But what's really cool that I'm glad I did is the multicolor. It was white when I put it on, that it was blue, purple, or blue, violet, red, color shifting paint. It doesn't really color shift, but if I move from side to side, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's got a cool sparkle that's like underneath the lacing. Like all this lacing in here, but underneath it there's like a really shiny sparkle. Maybe that'll pick it up if I get closer. Yeah, oh yeah, I think it does. But it looks really cool. And then here's the seahorse. I'm much happier with this one. It looks more like the seahorse where the turtle didn't really show up that much. But I had the same issue as soon as I put the high gloss on. This purple just like shot through the finish for some reason, because it wasn't there before I put the gloss finish on. Otherwise I would have tried to fix it. Other than that, it came out okay. I'm probably not going to do the stencil thing on my next beach because I'm just not real happy with it, but it's just okay. Well, thanks for watching. Until next time, mahalo. Subscribe below if you want to see more.